Yari. Okay. File should be in there. It would be alphabetical or.
That I'm not entirely sure.
Definitely will. We're going to have a jury brought up here at hopefully 11:30.
Just give the permission to hear via Zoom, it's on Zoom. Judge, may I approach real quick?
Yes.
Just giving you a heads up on Mr. Ekali Brooks. He is the gentleman that lives in Idaho. You gave him permission to appear via Zoom. I'm about to get that link, but just in case I'm in another court and I sent it to him late, that's the reason why he's late. I don't know, my fault.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what's happening?
Good morning. Excuse me.
One you sent me a notice of intent to talk about it.
All right, everyone, we're going to call the docket at 9 a.m. It is now 8:59 a.m. And everyone needs to make sure their cell phones are on silent.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, when I call your name, please let me know you are here. Please stand and answer. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Chris Lind, Jamaria Simmons. Thank you. Rudolph Montoya. Thank you. Isaiah Verjus. In custody, we have Anthony Cabrera, Christopher Lee Gonzalez, Raymond Alejandro, Philip Diller, Ivan Pacheco, Tony L. Torres, In custody, we have Marciano Laos Green, Yari, David Trevino, Carlos Madrigal Hernandez, Caleb Crom, David Dunas. Thank you. Katrina Ruiz. Thank you. Eric Christopher Diaz. Carl Edward Jones. Thank you. Ernest Ramone. Kevin Jones, Stevie Ray Stokes, Miguel Santiago Cologne. Good morning.
First row.
Ekila Brooks.
That's the one from out of state judge.
All right, thank you. Adrian Delaterio is in custody. Jerry Torres. Alex Espinoza. Alex Espinoza. Deon Bachelor, custody. Thank you. Jack Bernal. Jack Bernal. At 11 would be Summer Munice, Jimmy Barrientos, Victor Rodriguez. In custody is Eric Gonzalez Lopez. He should not have been brought over. So if he was requested, then we need to unrequest him and send him back because I think he's still contagious. Fräulein Guzman Velasquez is in custody. Anthony Woodard. Thank you. Christopher Dela Cruz, custody. Darren Does. Darren Does. Vicente Navarrete. Kenan Brown is in custody. Jeremy Duke. Jeremy Duke. Christopher Lee Gonzalez. Why were you late? All right, I walked through that line. There was no line. Raymond Alejandro. Raymond Alejandro. Ivan Pacheco. Tony Torres. Caleb Crum. Ernest Ramone. Alex Espinoza. Jack Bernal. Darren Does. Vicente Navarrete. Jeremy Duke. All right, everyone, here are the rules. Somebody's going to jury trial today. A jury will be called up. There was a slight issue with some of the inmates not being brought over dressed. Do not worry. They're going to get sent back and they will be brought back dressed. So at the latest, we may start jury selection at 1:30, but there will be a jury trial today. Everyone, these are the rules. Please listen carefully to the rules. Please follow the rules. If you follow the rules, court can go smoothly. Number one, to my left is the court reporter. Don't get lax and lean on where she sits. Don't get lax and put your paperwork on top of her desk because she has equipment up there. That equipment is over $10,000. If you damage it, you will have bought it. If you have someone who is on probation, has a PSI report, please make sure you read the PSI report and please confer with the probation officer who is to my right and towards the back. Do not put your items on her desk. Do not turn your back to her. Inmates come from that door. All attorneys know this. Do not block that entryway. Do not get in their line of sight. If something happens in their line of sight, I will happily, not gleefully, but happily sign an affidavit saying that I told you all not to block their line of sight. To my left, criminal trial division. To my right, family violence. As you all know, flu is up, pneumonia's up, people are catching COVID again. Just grab your file, place it on their desk. They will call you in the order in which they receive your file. Do not approach the court unless you have conferred with the state and conferred with your client. If your client is in custody, request that the deputy bring them out. Once the deputy has brought them out or you've requested your client, do not leave the courtroom because there's a limited number of inmates that can be in the box for security reasons. And if you request your inmate and then leave the courtroom, you are being selfish. And let's not make this a selfish January. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, yes, we need an interpreter. Let the court coordinator know you need an interpreter. Once you have done all those things, the court coordinator will pull your file, will place it here, have a seat. I will call you in the order of appearance. The only exception is if your client wishes to use an interpreter because we have so few interpreters. So do not, and this is a very important one, when we are on the record, which means I have called the cause number and the style of the case, if you are in the box, do not talk behind the court. Do not talk behind the court reporter. Just ask the deputies. They'll move you to the other end and you can talk down there. Going to ask that you whisper. If we are on the record, again, which means that I've called the cause number and the case, do not approach the coordinator. Do not approach the clerk because that make it very difficult for people to hear, namely me and the court reporter. All right, so this is Tuesday. I know people were probably praying that the weather would still be bad and we wouldn't have a Tuesday, but we need to get past that. We need to get past the fact that we're not retired and we hope we would be. Today is going to be a great day. So please confer with a smile on your heart and a smile on your face. All right, everyone, please confer. Hey, how's it going? I am reading a book and your last name has popped up in the book. Yes, it's called The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Yes, that's part of our book club. The other book we read from her was Don't Let Her Stay. So we're trying to get our book club off the ground. So many things happen between the first book. Oh, anybody who wants to be. And Deputy Laura was looking at rules and she gave us the rules and it was, one of the rules was be kind. I'm like, are we really going to get that intense over a book? It's like, how dare you suggest that you don't like that character? I don't know.
I would like to sit in on one of those meetings.
Sure.
Where people aren't kind.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen.
What kind of book club would that be? That's pretty fun.
That would be interesting.
That's people that would get a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Real question. Anthony Woodard's at Central 11. Is that correct?
Anthony Woodard.
He's in very fall.
No,
Oh.
because he's on bond.
Okay.
So the jury trial will actually, we're going to try to have a jury up here by 11.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll be able to start at 11:30.
Can I run down to the 4:37?
Sure.
Setting and quick meeting back.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Hey, yeah.
She only hired him on the NCR,
Oh.
not on the two. Reenactment. Yeah.
Tell me how many days in, please? 2023 CR 9173.
So they've already completed the NTR?
Yes, ma'am.
Applications for his so not family. So you want to go on Thursday morning.
The timeline. And
So what we do is because it's so hard. I don't know if that was.
Nice picture.
Very, very, thank you.
Anthony,
Okay, we'll need to talk to them. Thank you.
Anthony Cabrera, can you get the jail cam? 2 years, because you're crazy. Who would have that figure?
So,
Probation?
get your LIO.
800 days,
And so-
that's including The time in, we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. 808.
And so. But, yes. Why?
First row.
Part of it. So. That's why I was just wondering. I didn't want to ask about. If we could. You know, there.
I didn't catch the.
Oh, well, I just. I didn't see that was on first. So there was a couple others on. At my election.
Yes, I saw that this morning.
Vision, I think that that is what
No, this guy's on. Just me. I don't. Yeah. Try to think if there's one.
If we go, I just want to cover myself down 156, so that. I think he's gonna try to. Good, okay. I'm gonna Dela, right? Dela good. When I was a kid. Yeah. Killer Dela.
Well, you'll still lock that. Okay, well, very cool. 800.
So.
I'm not sure where.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Now you have some that are like. Yeah, second or both.
Then the others are full of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good morning. I was wondering if I could please approach on that and find the file. I'm sorry. Good morning. I did not mean to do that.
And before you step out, either I get the new discovery.
Okay.
But we have a new. Policy.
Your Honor, that's just a housekeeping matter for the two of us from the old case.
Okay, I already signed this, but I'll
Oh,
sign it again.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry then. I didn't even.
Oh,
see
no,
it.
no
Perfect.
problem.
I
Every,
should have known.
I will, yes, I will tell you everything that really doesn't require argument. I always sign, but I'll sign it again.
No, that's cool, Judge. Thanks.
Okay. Is there anything else that's needed?
No, that's it. Unless we go, if we go, the judge in the 156 down in Live Oak County denied my unopposed motion for continuance to that huge writ hearing down there on Friday.
Okay.
And and so I've got that motion to clarify that if we go, I can't go down there Friday unless trial's over.
All right. If we are going on this, if you want, we can call them.
I think some in writing would be better. Verbal, I'm just not comfortable with that.
Oh, well, then you'll have to write something for this.
Thank
Okay.
you, Judge.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
There, that may be trial.
Just what time do you want the final ones?
11.
Yeah.
That's right.
Me too. Yeah.
She's trying. She literally said.
Yeah.
She's literally. She literally. That's not the spot. Sounds like she's.
I'm sure they'll come in. So how many do you have right now? Okay. Okay.
I know you have a sign. Deon Bachelor. Yep, Deon. Yeah. Okay. I'll try to go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We went on to set impact.
Yeah, see it.
So.
Okay.
She's like. Holding on to that something. That's what she's. That's what she's. I mean, it's that.
Right.
Not attack. She didn't punch her in the hand. I think she can do one like be it. So if I'm separating someone, I can. That's like. Not to get semantics, but I do think that's my. And then I think we need to stop saying.
Yes.
Thank God there's two of them.
I don't.
Yeah, she. And then when she graduated, she was 16. So. So I come down a little bit.
Yes.
Raymond Alejandro, why was your client late?
Impact court on the second floor.
Why would he go to impact court?
We had previously been to impact court.
Got a message from. I had a text message to tell me to be down there, so that's why I went down there, but I saw that they were in trial, so came right back up here.
All right. All right, the jury will be brought up at 11.
Okay, Judge, we have one motion that we wanted to,
Oh, I've seen it. I denied it.
okay,
All right.
could we at least put it on the record?
Oh, sure. Court is calling 2022 CR 1331, State of Texas versus Raymond Alejandro. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ally Jackson for the state.
Defense?
Matthew Allen for the defense.
All right. Your motion?
Judge, we have a motion, the court has, recorded Mr. Alejandro's previous proceedings and trials. They're recorded on YouTube.
Mhm.
That the jurors, the potential jurors in this case, that'll be brought up can see. We'd like those for them to be removed.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what benefit it is that that previously recorded proceedings are up on YouTube.
Mhm.
But the danger to Mr. Alejandro is that it doesn't give him a fair trial because we can't be certain that the jurors are going to only review the material that's given to them today, along with the witnesses. And so, again,
we don't see any reason why they would be up on YouTube or recorded to leave up there. And so we'd ask for those to be removed.
All right. And here's my question. Have we had any hearings with Mr. Alejandro that have required witnesses?
Yes, he had a
And what
trial.
was that? Okay, so he had a jury trial,
Yes.
correct? All right. So this is what you need to be aware of. Your colleague requested and had a judge sign an order that no videos were taken down. So that probably may need to be taken up with your colleague who did that. And when I say colleague, I mean in general.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So a court has signed an order that I'm not to remove any. So therefore, this motion is denied.
But, Your Honor, I guess that I'm not sure what, I may or may not know, but I'm not positive what court. But I guess we'd like at least an opportunity to go in front of that court to explain the dangers. It's a little bit of a different case that his case was tried and a mistrial, and now we have a retrial. So we have a whole trial up on
Yeah.
broadcasting. So,
Okay. All right. And so that'll be something that you'll need to question the jurors about, and I'll make sure that the jurors have not viewed that.
and Judge, by doing that, all I do is bring the attention that the proceedings have been on YouTube. So we run into that danger again. So
Okay.
I don't know if.
Well, yes, the court has that order. So,
I understand. I guess. Yeah, I'd like to be able to try to go to that court then to explain. and
well, it
get-
was a hearing that was under seal and a motion that was under seal, but for someone, I don't know who, decided to speak about sealed hearing. So what I can tell you is an order was signed by a judge, and therefore all videos remain.
Judge, I guess then I would ask for a continuance to look into that, or at least
Mhm.
let that play out so that Mr. Alejandro can have.
All right,
what we
that-
believe would be
Your
a fair-
motion for no recording. Do you have any objection to the media being present in the courtroom to record the trial?
We would not want anyone to record this.
So you want the media excused as well?
They could be in, but any recordings we would ask.
All right. All right, your motion to withdraw video and your motion to not have recording, that's denied.
And then just for scheduling purposes, I have a federal sentencing tomorrow afternoon. I believe Mr. Kalfas has a federal sentencing. He should be up here, but I just wanted to make the court aware.
Okay, all right. We'll of course work around that schedule.
Okay, and would we pick today and start testimony tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Judge.
Hi. Happy Tuesday. Oh, it does. It's a Monday and a Tuesday. Thank you. Have a good one. No, I'm good. Thank you.
She didn't say that. She believes it. They're not sisters, that's that. They don't have all this thing like that. They don't have that. It's also. They don't have the time. And then you can go to the judge, it's a video of the person sitting, that's what they realize. But I'll have to- Sure. Sure, yeah.
My car is. Yeah.
Hello. Summer Munice, you all ready? All right, let me see what's. Let me look. And Isaiah version. All right. Isaiah Verjus. Okay. Who's here on Isaiah Verjus?
Is that your?
He's filling in for Jessica. Jones.
Yes,
Yes, Judge.
yes.
You're on the other side.
Oh, it's swap.
All right, so this is scheduled for jury trial. And do you know whether you have the entire cell phone that's been taken care of, correct?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Gonzalez and we spoke several times.
All right, then you'll be back here at 11 for jury trial.
Ms. Gonzalez is taking your jury currently in the impact court, Your Honor.
Ah,
Yeah, that's why he's stepping in her.
okay.
Yeah.
That's correct, Your Honor. Mario Moreno for Jessica Gonzalez. She was in impact court this morning, or is in impact this morning. She just texted me about 5 minutes ago, confirmed that they are placing the cards and the jury's about to be brought in.
Okay. All right, then what we're gonna do is, Norma, recall this for the last week in January.
29.
All right, you're coming back on 29 for trial.
Thank you.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Y'all ready? Mhm. All right, so what's the update on the treatment bed?
Yeah.
All right, is there any way we can call safety and find out what the pickup date is? Do I need to call them and say when's pickup date? Mhm.
This isn't the video.
Do you have their number?
I'll do some research, Judge.
All right, thank you.
There is. There is.
Who's here on it? Karen Ruiz?
Katrina Ruiz?
I'm sorry, Katrina Ruiz.
Katrina Ruiz.
All right. Is the state ready?
Yes, sir, state's right.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to set bond. Are you ready on that motion?
No, Your Honor, not on that.
All right, if you all will confer, and then we'll come back.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a brief moment.
Sure.
May she wait up
You
here?
can, well, you can have a seat.
Oh,
Hello.
well, other than having frostbite on my toes,
What are you walking around with no shoes?
I am not a person of cold weather. There's a reason I live up down here.
I will tell you, my mom bought me some bear claw shoes. Excellent in this type of weather. I walked in snow in them and my feet were almost too warm.
I want to get like electric socks,
Electric socks.
but then I'd probably burn my feet.
Yeah. They do have those hand warmer things. Maybe you can put them for your feet.
Or maybe I should stop being a wimp.
Because I'm sure probably the middle of the week is going to be 70
It's
degrees.
supposed to be 70 on Thursday. I'm supposed to be running a half marathon with Rachel.
Oh,
I
hey,
don't know
how's
why-
Rachel?
Good, well, living the life.
Living the
But
life.
I don't know why I agreed to do that because I hate money.
So she's still in New York?
Well, for the time being. Lease expires in June. About to have a painful talk.
Aw. Let her continue to enjoy. Tell her she needs to do the, what's her name? Mary, where she throws her hat in the air.
Can I have her send you the bill?
No. But I will do a barbecue plate sale for her. We'll see what that does.
Like something like,
Only if you cook the barbecue.
we're gonna have a benefit.
Yes. But we'll have to come up with a catchy name because otherwise people will say, we're not doing
Yeah.
the benefit for her
Yeah,
to live her life.
Judge, I returned him in on Friday, had GPS violations in
Mhm.
your court in 13.
Yes.
I just want to see if you'll sign that so we can close the bond out.
Okay.
Sexual assault trial. It's a fun way to start the year. Good killing. So I can get enthusiastic about it. And then he touched your what? It's like, yes.
All right, are y'all ready?
We're ready. Oh, I'm ready with that. Yes.
Okay.
Wait for the stage. May I bring my client?
Sure. Well, let's see if they're ready. State, are you all ready on Ruiz?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ruiz, if you'll come down. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 2917, State of Texas versus Katrina Ruiz. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state
Zach Dunn for the state.
defense?
Mario Moreno for the defendant again.
And are you Katrina Ruiz? Your attorney has filed a motion requesting a reasonable bond. State, are you in receipt of the motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, off the record for a moment. Deputy Laura, could you have them move? All right, we're back on the record. Are there any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor. Oh, actually. Potentially one, just depending on if the court is allowing, it would allow defense to make statements, factual statements without a witness, or if you prefer to go through it.
Well, it's a motion to set a bond, so the rules of evidence don't apply. However, in order for me to set a reasonable bond, I will need to know what type of bond someone can make.
Understood.
So if, rules of evidence don't apply.
Yes, Judge. Okay. Okay, Your Honor, at this time, then I will call Mr. Edward Ruiz.
All right, Edward Ruiz.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Please be sure to keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear. All right. Deputy Laura, there's someone at the door. All right, could you state your name for the record?
My name is Edward Ruiz.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ruiz, what is your relationship with Katrina Ruiz?
I'm her dad.
Were you aware that she had a warrant related to this case?
Yes,
Were you also aware that at this point in time, a bond is not currently set in that case?
that's correct.
Do you recall what her bond was originally in this case?
I believe it was 50,000.
50,000. Okay.
I believe that.
Okay. What efforts have y'all made prior to coming to court today to try and resolve that one?
We spoke to the bail bonds to try and move forward with the things that we have to do for that.
Do you have a bondsman ready to go?
Yes,
Which bondsman is it?
McRae.
Okay, bondsman?
Yes, McRae.
So at this point in time, what are you hoping the bond would be in terms of what you could afford based on what you spoke with that bondsman?
To more negotiations, I guess, with an agreement of roughly around the same.
Or like I was before, you mean?
Before, yes,
So 50,000, is that right?
yes,
Does Katrina live with you?
yes. She's in my home.
And what do you do for a living? Sir?
I take care of family members and I take care of my mom. She's disabled, and it's 24/7. It's a job that, very few people will step up to do, and I have to take care of everyone else.
And what does Katrina do?
Katrina works at a Costco and stuff for almost,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Katrina, my daughter works at a Costco wholesale, and she's there almost all day, 10 to 12 hours. It's a lot, but that's what she does.
You are aware that the purpose of the warrant was because Katrina was accused of a new crime, is that right?
Yes,
Are you aware of the facts of that allegation?
A little bit, yes.
That it's a violation of protective order? Were you informed about that? The new case?
Then you could, as far as what they said it was about,
Yeah, like what the charge is,
yes,
violation of protective order, is that correct?
yes.
Um, Were you? Matt, Your Honor?
Yes.
Real briefly, Mr. Ruiz, so were you with Katrina on the day that that new charge stemmed from?
Yes,
Was there any violence related to those allegations?
none whatsoever. There was no one there. We took the officers with us.
Thank you, Mr. Ruiz. No further questions. I'll pass the witness.
All right, state any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, I have a question. What were you saying about you took police officers or officers with you to this location?
We were asked to do, what do you call that thing? Like when they assist to go and get your things. When we got there, we did a video of stuff going in there, not knowing of the outcome, what we were about to see. And so there's a video that I took and the place was, they robbed her of everything. Everything was gone. The whole apartment is completely empty.
You know, so this is what I'm trying to get at. So there was a violation of a bond or protective order. Am I correct in that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, and I'm assuming based upon that, allegedly, she violated a bond or protective order. Are you telling the court that you went to this location where she was not supposed to be to retrieve her items?
Yes, because when the.
Just asking, just answer a question.
Okay,
And if attorneys want to follow up, because I'm trying to understand something.
okay.
So did you go over there with the police to retrieve her items?
Yes,
All right. Any other questions?
Were the officers aware of the protective order bond condition at the time? Did you let them know that?
yes.
Would it surprise you if officers noted that they were unaware of that at the time?
No, they were.
No further questions. Your Honor.
All right. Does anybody want to know when the officers were made aware?
I would like to know, Judge, if you have that information, but.
No, I mean, I'm
Oh,
asking you
okay.
all. I'm not
Oh,
here to
okay.
do an investigation. I'm just trying to ask questions so I can ascertain
I have
what the
some,
bond should be set at.
I have some follow-up questions, Your
Sure.
Honor. So, Mr. Ruiz, who instructed you to contact law enforcement to go to the apartment?
The ones that took the paper for the thing, the restraining order.
Okay.
They're the ones who gave me the card. It says, this is what you do. This is the only way that they allow it to go back and retrieve. Because
What office did that person work at?
the Bear County courts.
Oh. And you're saying that when you spoke to law enforcement that day for the escort, you made them aware of that protective order?
Yes.
Out of the question.
All right. Any other questions?
Not for this one. Your
All right. Can someone tell me what is your client's relationship to Maya Ortega?
They were in a dating relationship. They are no longer in a dating relationship since before the incident.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So do y'all want to confer on a bond amount? Because if what he is saying is true, that he went over to the location and they went to the location with police officers to retrieve her items. Should she have been there? Allegedly, if she was there? No, she should not have been there. However, this is a situation where they went over with the police to retrieve items. So do y'all want to confer or?
We have conferred, Judge. I think we have an agreement as to the amount, but I think there's a slight disagreement in terms of whether it would be a reinstatement of the bond or setting up a new bond.
Well, first, I can't reinstate the bond unless the bondsman wants the bond reinstated.
Understood.
And so if someone wants to call the bondsman and see if the bondsman wants the bond restated, and if you want to call them and as an officer of the court, tell me that they've instructed you that they want the bond reinstated, then I can do that. If you all are agreement in reinstating the bond. So you need to call the bondsman and see if they're in agreement with that. But that's a contract.
Understood.
And I can't interfere in what their contract is, and I can't force someone to be in a contract with Ms. Ruiz once they relieve themselves of the contract. So if y'all want to call and see if they want to reinstate the bond, then the court will reinstate the bond if they want to.
Well, my understanding is they do have a new bondsman, but if the court would give us 5-10 minutes to see.
Sure.
If they could.
If y'all will step back, and then we'll address the conditions of bond.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll get it. Shouldn't be. I'll let you know.
Can I get my guy over at GM? So I can spend this out? He's already got somebody on that side.
We're working on some paperwork for Mr. Bachelor. Let me run down, check in with 226 and I'll run right back up. Let us know, yeah, Deon Bachelor, he's in custody. And I'll go back up. So I think we're working on the objection.
Oh, very good.
Then, have y'all?
Marina, and yeah, another one. We haven't received response yet. Apparently, what it is about. They were recommending to us to check their third party and the third party national team. Yeah, so that's, but I just. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they just went out on the discovery. Not discovery, but just the knowledge. And I burned some out.
All right, are the parties ready on Christopher Dela Cruz?
Can we get a couple of minutes?
Sure.
They don't. Good. Oh. No, I don't have. No, I know it's happening, but I was. I know you told me the last time. I was in my house. See my work, clear my back here. All right, I'll be back in a person. To the office, I'm like walking through. I don't know if you, I felt like I was. There's body cam. It's done. It's been on. You'll see, but I see. No arrest.
Deputy Mejia, is it too soon to talk about the Cowboys and the Steelers? Or are we just gonna pretend like that didn't happen? We're not ready. It's too soon. Okay.
Sports are over for the year, I think.
It's just too soon. Well, they're saying that the Cowboys may get another coach. We shall see. I'm waiting for the phone call.
I think we gotta convince Yari we're gonna retire.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell the owner, before he gives me my 35 million, I'm the coach of the team. Can't take calls from upstairs.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Shoot too much,
Yeah.
That's what. Although Jerry maybe doesn't care, maybe this is fine, he made a lot of money.
No, he seemed very upset and distraught.
Heard of this.
Well, Bashan is a Pittsburgh fan, so I know she has no sympathy. Michael DeLeon is a big, ginormous fan. And so we just are not going to mention that to him.
That's correct. I was actually gonna. It's like, usually she'll type up. Okay, single off. This is fine, obviously, we're terrible. So.
You got it working. Is there a way to confirm that he's on?
Yes, he's here.
He's here? Okay, making sure.
All right, sure. And Norma, you did tell the attorney about Malik Lampkin, right? Okay. Yes. Okay.
I already told him. One second. I have. Forget it, I'm just making it.
You'll be coming by just on Monday. But I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
Nothing there.
How long has she been in custody? I'm waiting. I'm sorry.
She's back. So nothing's.
Okay. All right, so it hasn't been 180 days. No. All right, then she needs to wait for transfer. And if she wants to have an attorney, if she just wants to do her time,
So.
then we can do that. And if you want to see if maybe felony drug court has an opening. And we can recall this back. Let me see. When do you think for a recall back? 3 weeks? Right. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on Summer Munice, if we can recall this back in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, Miss Munice.
Miss Lee?
February when? All right, we're going to come back on February 6th to see where you are in the transfer. My understanding, there are 3 people ahead of you. All right.
Is there any way that, you could MTR me? I've been waiting since August 22nd to go. That's already 6 months to go to a 6-month program.
No. You were scheduled on August for SATF, and SATF wouldn't take you. So then we ended up coming back, and you said you would, we came back in October. In October, you said you were assigned for safety. So Judge Harrell ordered you for SATF. So with me and this court, you've only been in custody awaiting safety transfer since October.
Okay.
If you would like a motion to revoke filed against you, then you'll need to speak to an attorney.
So I have to hire an attorney?
Hire an attorney. I will have one appointed. Are you able to afford an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Ms. Ferguson, if you could see about appointing her an attorney.
Adrian will take it.
All right. Thank you. Just have a seat. We'll get with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Whenever the court is ready, Your Honor.
Are y'all ready?
Well, looks like Mr. Dunn is probably a little busy.
Okay.
But whatever.
Whenever you all are ready, just approach and I'll take it up.
Your Honor, you're ready, we're ready.
Okay.
You know what I said.
Mr. Moritz.
All right, Christopher Dela Cruz. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 9061, State of Texas versus Christopher Dela Cruz. By parties announced for the record for the state.
Hank Wilkes for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
And Eric Diaz, I represent Mr. Dela Cruz.
Are you Mr. Dela Cruz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest, the count 2 on November 16th. The state waived count 1 and the enhancement allegation without objection. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison, and the state is opposed to your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
None, Your Honor.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Just,
All right, then the court will hear argument. State to your post.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on the defendant's criminal history, he's already got a shot at probation in 2019, Judge. That he was unsuccessful on, so we feel like it would be a disservice to the defendant to give him the probation. We don't feel like he's a good candidate.
You can come around.
We don't feel he'll be successful on probation. And also the amount of drugs on his person. It's not a less than a gram case, Judge. So based on the defendant's criminal history and the incident offense, we're opposed to the application for probation, Your Honor.
This is a court's application, a right of appeal. We don't have a right to appeal. We talked about this. I didn't have you sign it.
So on page 8 of the TAP, Judge, at the bottom there, it says, I'm not a thief, but to maintain my drug habit, I sell heroin and methamphetamine. So, Your Honor, this is not someone who has a substance abuse issue. This is not a drug user. This is a drug dealer. So, you know, incarceration is for folks that we're scared of, not people we're mad at. And if we're, you know, kind of mad at people who have a drug problem, like, hey, get some help, this would be somebody that is more scary to me, Judge. A drug dealer, I think, that's a scarier thing, Judge. So that's why we're asking for incarceration rather than probation, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may, I've represented my client for some time and I've never had a client more easy to talk to. He understands he's in front of the court and he understands he's facing prison time. But in talking with him ad nauseum, he is asking the court for one chance. We're not doubting anything the state just said. He has had a chance at a state jail felony before and he messed that up. The state waived a repeater and waived count 1, which allows him an opportunity for probation. I believe what he said to the officer was, I'm not a thief, because the car that he was driving was not stolen. It just didn't have a registration. And he wanted to let him know that he is battling drug addiction. The recommendation of the TAP is for full SATF. And I've talked to my client. He knows that if he doesn't change his life right now, he'll never change his life. It's a constant battle. Yeah, I've read through his history. He kind of grew up without a father. He helped his mother when he could, or when he wasn't battling addiction. He wished he would have helped her more. He is asking for that one chance of a big, high, uphill climb to sobriety. And I believe everybody in their life needs to constantly try. I don't believe he was saying that he's a drug dealer, and the fact that I'm scaring the community. It was, I'm a drug dealer because I'm supporting my habit, which is just as horrible. But he is asking for that one chance. But he is in front of the court knowing you can go either way. And when I talk to him, he's ready for your decision, but I know he's asking for that chance of SATF.
Okay. So I always keep an open mind about everything. And there are some people that come before me with major criminal history, and I've given them probation before. But I know that you've been given a chance with your sobriety before. And you know how I know that? Because it says here that you were placed on probation July 4th, 2019. That means that I placed you on probation.
Yes, ma'am.
And on that probation, an MTR was filed. I denied it and continued you on probation and extended you so you could get to help.
Yes, ma'am.
So sometimes when I see people with major criminal history and I just see them going to prison over and over, or going to the Bexar County Jail over and over, I know maybe nobody's ever offered them help for their drug addiction or whatever is going on. But in your case, I know that help was offered because you're on probation out of this court for possession less than a gram.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So with that being said, I'm going to deny your application. As previously stated, I'm finding you guilty. If you would like, I can request that you be referred to the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community doesn't increase your stay at the jail. It perhaps, or I'm sorry, your stay at the prison. It perhaps can help you with any drug addictions you may have or get you on the right path. I can't force them to place you in it. All I can do is request it. But if you don't ask for it, they're definitely not going to consider it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So would you like me to request the therapeutic community for you?
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right. So I'm going to find you guilty. There's a restitution of $177 to SAPD for drug testing. Credit for any time served. I'm going to order the therapeutic community and sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Dela Cruz, I want to let you know, coming to this decision was difficult because I've worked with people before and had clients before who sell drugs in order to maintain their habit. So I understand that. And I took that in consideration. But you can still change your life. I always tell people, I know anytime you're doing custody, even an hour is a lot of time. But you're going to have to change your ways. Otherwise, you're going to be in and out of the prisons. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ivan Pacheco. Oh, just have a seat. I'm just checking people in. Tony Torres. Tony Torres. Caleb Crum. Ernest Ramone. Ernest Lopez Ramone.
He actually might be outside conferring with his attorney judge.
All right, thank you. Alex Espinoza. Alex Espinoza. Jack Bernal. Norma, I think Jack Bernal has been reset. Can I see the file? If I'm correct on that. Darren Doze. Vicente Navarrete. Jeremy Duke. Because I believe Paul is out ill. Norma, yes. Jack Bernal is supposed to recall for January 18th. Criminal Trial Division, Jack Bernal is recalled for January 18th. The attorney is out ill.
He didn't sign this, I'm gonna have him sign it.
Okay, my fault. Thank you.
That's my. Oh.
So.
Kelly already got this.
Yes. Mhm. Yes. No, I understand. Yeah. No problem.
And everyone was emailed.
All right, thank you.
Nice.
What's going on? Yeah. May we approach you?
Yes.
We're ready to.
All right. Katrina Ruiz. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 2917, State of Texas versus Katrina Ruiz. Could I have parties re-announce for the record?
Zach done for the state, Your Honor.
Mario Moreno for the defendant.
And are you Katrina Ruiz? All right, so counsel, you were going to speak with the bondsman?
Yes, Your Honor. I with my client's father, we went out to the hallway and we called her previous bondsman. I spoke with them. They relayed to me that the owner of the bond company is not in today. They don't know when they will be in, so we're not able to confirm if they're willing to reinstate. I spoke with her father and he thinks at this point in time, it's in her best interest for the court to simply just accept it.
All right, so what amount of bond are you all requesting?
50,000, Your Honor.
And was that the previous bond?
It was.
All right, now the next question is with regards to GPS. Is she on GPS? Are you on GPS?
He was not on GPS. If you want to.
Are you on GPS?
No, ma'am.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Katrina Ruiz.
All right, the questions I'm going to ask you is just related to my setting bond conditions for you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are there any prior mental health issues with you or no?
No.
Never been on any type of medication?
No, ma'am.
Any prior drug use?
No, ma'am.
Nothing?
No, ma'am.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And your father stated at Costco, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are your hours of work?
They vary, so I could work like up to like 40 hours.
All right, you're gonna have to speak up.
They could like vary up, so I could like work up to like 40 hours a week.
All right, do you work on the weekends?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
All right, any other questions related to conditions of bond?
To conditions, no, Your Honor. But if the court's willing, I would like to request a number whenever the court is ready.
Okay. All right, state,
Yes,
what are conditions are you requesting?
Just given the allegation of the violation of bond protective order, Your Honor, tracking, and of course, a no contact with the complainant.
All right, and I believe she already has a no contact order with the complainant on this case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's correct.
All right. They're gonna take her into custody till the bond is paid.
Yes, sir. My understanding, and she can confirm if she'd like, is that they have been in contact with the new bondsman. They would be ready to go this morning if the court is willing to allow the deputies to escort her to satellite.
All right, well, I can tell you this, there are some cases where satellite will not accept. This may not be one of those,
Understood.
but if they'll accept her, we will send her down. So the court will set the bond at $50,000. GPS tracking. And if there's an area that she need not enter based upon the complainant, just let the court know. There's to be no contact with Maya Ortega. And then all previous conditions remain. All right, is there anything else?
Is the court willing to waive GPS fees for Ms. Ruiz, Your Honor?
I'll ask that they be waived, but it's a third-party contract. They probably won't.
I see.
Waive. I'll do waive or defer GPS fees.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so where are we on discovery on this case? We can go off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Your Honor, I received a disclosure memo from the state on January 10th with just pretrial interviews and statements that the DA's office made with the complainant and a witness. There were statements made that leads defense to believe that there's potentially there's videos that exist that may potentially be exculpatory. I've discussed with the state. I think there's maybe a confusion on whether or not this video exists. If the video does exist, though, Your Honor, I think it's very important for the defense to receive
State, do you
this.
have any videos?
Everything we have, we've given the defense, we received, and defense, of course, and I talked about this. We received about a 10-second clip of an additional video that is also seen on body worn, and we received that today at 9:45 a.m. I've already shown that to defense. So everything we have, defense has.
The issue I have, Your Honor, is that the video that was shown to me this morning is not the video as described in this memo. So if they can confirm that the video as described in this memo does not exist, and it's the only videos that I saw this morning, I think that a new disclosure memo would be appropriate, if they can confirm or deny the existence of this video.
All right, how long do y'all expect this jury trial to last?
No more than
All right, Ms. Ferguson.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
if, Ms. Ruiz would have elected to go to the jury for punishment.
Mhm.
So to be fair, I would say no more than 2, just in case.
Well, I mean, jury selection,
Oh, and
then if she were to be found guilty, yeah, I think it's jury selection one day and everything should be wrapped up in another day. So testimony, deliberation takes however long deliberation takes. So Norma, 2 days on Ruiz for a jury trial. Oh, she's set for today? Oh, so you're set for jury trial today?
I would ask for time, Your Honor, just because of this new disclosure.
All right, the new disclosure, how long is the video?
I think it's longer than 15 seconds, Your Honor.
All right, so you're up for jury trial today. Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And Deputy, make sure she's available for jury trial. Thank you.
When you get that from. Hey, Rachel, what you doing? Good at you, good at you.
I know, right?
You feeling in? It's cool.
No, no, I was at so I was at the scene, I was just.
You got parole.
I got paroled and.
Nice.
Let me come back.
Yeah, see, that could be.
One time in. I know what it's about.
Stevie Ray Stokes. Hello.
Good morning.
They tell me it's too soon to talk about the Cowboys' other Steelers, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
I'm not a fan either, so.
Oh my gosh.
You can jump on the Lions bandwagon with me, George.
Well, don't say anything to Michael DeLeon. All right, so are you all here for motions? What are we here for?
Judge, we're set for a plea deadline today.
And then also discovery, just checking up on our discovery.
Correct.
All right, so how's the discovery?
I turned over a Blu-ray disc of the jail calls, which we were reading on, and I turned over the name of the pediatrician. I've also let Mr. Piddle know that we have subpoenaed the pediatrician's office for the 4th time, trying to get the records, and as soon as we have them, we will give them to him.
All right, so why is it taking so long to get
From what
records?
I understand from talking with our advocate, the records are kept by a third party.
Mhm.
And they've since changed third parties and they keep kind of giving Marina the runaround. So we're looking to try to get somebody on the phone to get this settled.
Do you have the date that you put for the subpoena return?
Let me see.
So I don't mind dropping by on that day, and if they don't show up, we just. Show cause.
This coming Friday on the most recent one, Your Honor.
All right, so here's my question. I don't know anything about this case. Is the mother of the child involved
Yes.
allegedly?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so she's involved, so you can't say, hey, mom, get the records.
Well, no, she's involved in terms of, she's not a co-defendant or anything.
Oh,
But yeah,
so-
we do have contact with her.
Is there any reason why she can't get the records?
Well, because I want them from the actual.
No, I mean, they will give her all of the records. She's the mother of the child. That would be easiest. Otherwise,
We
they
can
need to
definitely
be
talk-
subpoenaed to come to court as to why
They're not turning.
they're
over.
not turning over the records.
I guess we'll know Friday if they bring them, because I want a BRA too, so.
Okay,
And from what Honor just told me, Your Honor, is that because the child is deceased,
Mhm.
that's why they're not, that's why we're having to go through this third party to get the records.
Okay.
They keep the records instead of just being on site.
all right, so,
Which I don't understand how that, I mean, he wasn't deceased when he saw the pediatrician, so.
No, and I agree with that, but apparently it's just how they changed the storage for the records.
all right, so you all think you will have the records on Friday?
For their return date is, when we will follow up this week, Your Honor, before we even hit Friday to make sure that they're working on it.
All right, Norma, on this case, recall it back for January 19th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Yari. Yari. All right, if you come forward.
I'll go back. I'll go back. People in the Northeast have to.
Court is calling.
Sorry, Judge.
That's okay. 2023 CR 11464, State of Texas versus Yari. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Anna Ochoa and Nelson.
Jay Moritz from Mr. Yari.
Yes.
Yara, Yara,
All right. And what's your first name?
Yara,
Yari.
yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Yari, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're gonna waive and abandon the repeater enhancement.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Yari, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
No approaching while we're on the record. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of injury to a child bodily injury intentionally and knowingly as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
In my opinion, he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Yari, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
no, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine probated. State will remain silent on your application. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, anger management, and parenting classes. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years if the court were to grant your application. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
State offers States Exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
State, you may continue to confer. Mr. Yari, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yeah.
understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty. I'm sorry, you did not apply for deferred adjudication. correct? All right, this will come back for sentencing on February 20th. I'm going to ask for PSI. Is there a need for TAP evaluation or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll come back on February 20th. At that time, I'll make a decision on your application based upon any evidence that's presented to me. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Who's here on Carlos Madrigal? If you'll come forward, counselor. All right, Jim, come.
Take care.
I'll see you.
Who's here on Anthony Cabrera? All right, if you'll come forward. Probation, there are no applications.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 11157, State of Texas versus Anthony Cabrera. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Fernando Ramos for the defendant.
And are you Anthony Cabrera?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review that with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cabrera, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are good.
Mr. Cabrera, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, Your
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Court will note for the record that a competency evaluation was filed on February 22nd, 2022. And on March 28th, 2022, the defendant was determined to be incompetent. Can you tell the court, has he been established as competent?
He has been restored to competency. Last week, we had a hearing in front of the Judge Carruthers, Judge, and he was declared competent.
All right. Mr. Cabrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense? Is
Yes,
that
Your
the
Honor.
plea? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Honor. No contest.
State any evidence?
State offer state exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, and state, have you had a chance to contact the complainant?
Judge, we made several attempts. I don't believe any of them were successful.
All right, you may continue to confirm. Mr. Cabrera, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we ask that you follow the plea bargain.
All right, the court will follow your plea, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and the court will give you credit for time in the state hospital. Was he transferred
Transferred from,
to the state hospital?
he was transferred there and then he came back, Judge.
All right, and so he'll receive credit for the time he's been at the state hospital as well. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
You wish to close, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Cabrera, you're gonna have to make sure that you stay up on your medications. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm gonna request the therapeutic community, and I'll notate that there are mental health issues. So that they'll be aware. All right, and once you're released from custody, you need to make sure that you go to the Center for Healthcare Services, all right? All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's here on Miguel Santiago Cologne?
I just spoke with the defense attorney, Your Honor, and he might be in the hallway still.
Okay. Ikela Brooks?
I think,
Yes.
I'm not sure, I'm not actually sure. I'm not
Yes,
really
he's
sure.
online. Are you ready?
Yes, Judge.
All right, could I have the state?
I really shouldn't correct
All
you. I
right,
don't know how to pronounce it
that's
myself.
okay. Mr. Brooks, you need to unmute and start video. Hi. You want to call your client? No. Here he is. You need to unmute, sir.
Okay, hello?
All right, thank you. So today is the day. Hi, just give us a moment, sir. So state, were you able to tender an offer?
We were able to tender an offer, Your Honor, and I believe we have an agreement. So there's just some logistical things we would like to ask the court.
Yes, Judge.
All right,
So
yes.
this client is in Idaho. I just need to get him to schedule a flight, get down here for a plea deal. He doesn't know about the plea bargain, but I'm 99% sure we're going forward on it.
Okay.
If we can just have a reset for the plea date or even plea deadline where he is in person, we'll come in, knock out the plea and be done.
All right, whenever you do air quotes, it means that what you're saying
Well,
is not what you're saying.
We
No,
can name it whatever we want. just a
no, but
setting
you're
where-
like, plead it.
Only one
All right,
side.
when is he able to come back?
Mr. Brooks, do you think you can get back here in the next 2 weeks?
Yes, I can.
2-week reset, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this in 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Oh, no, when people say they want 2 weeks, I give them 3 weeks. So then I notate they only ask for 2.
I wanted 2 weeks just to get out of this winter storm. Afterwards, we can set as many as much.
Well, I don't even know how the weather is in Idaho, so.
Probably worse than here, but they probably.
Let me
experience
ask you
it.
this, not to interfere with your plea negotiations, but is this for time or something else?
Something else.
Something else.
All right, so is there a reason why we can't do the paperwork and everything by Zoom? Is that not doable?
I presume it is.
I mean, we can do it via Zoom, Judge. I have no problem with that. I'd still ask for at least a short reset just so I can discuss everything with my client.
All right, so we can do the plea by Zoom, and then if he needs to be here, we can set it for a date that he needs to be here. So Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall this for next week. All right, 22nd.
Double checking, Judge. Monday. I'm sorry, I will be in Bandera County. Even though I'll be on Zoom, I don't get any signal out there.
All right, 23rd. In the morning.
I'll be here anyways, so yeah, that'll work.
All right, Mr. Brooks, you don't need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
catch your flight. We're gonna recall this for February 23rd, and that'll be by Zoom, okay?
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
No, my client not excused.
Yes.
Go ahead and log off, Mr. Brooks. I'll call you this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the name on that one? Yeah, that's done. Santiago Cologne. Who's the attorney?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, what's happening with this case?
Judge, we'd like to get the soonest trial date as possible, I
Oh, and
believe.
counsel, you're on this side. Your client's in the center. All right, do you all have all the discovery?
No, Judge, but we've been asking for quite some time.
Oh, yes, I remember this case.
But I'd like to put on the record what we're still missing.
All right, is this family? I thought this is not family violence. Okay,
And I have to briefly, because the record won't reflect it if I just ask for these things. They mean nothing in a vacuum. I have to tell you a little bit, a tiny bit, right?
okay, so let's do this. Let me have you step back for 2
Mhm.
minutes. Let me take this up because this appears that this may take a while.
Okay, Judge,
All right,
thank you.
sure. Christopher Gonzalez.
Present, Your Honor.
Hi. All right, this is scheduled for jury trial.
Judge, previously last week, we needed some additional discovery. Mr. Cho was very kind in providing that need discovery. I was able to review most of it, and what that has done is open up a Pandora's box of more questions for discovery. So we need to work with the district attorney's office to get more information regarding the complainant and previous allegations of sexual abuse.
So to elaborate on that a little bit, Judge, Mr. De Leon, in our conversations regarding this case, informed me that there may be someone else involved with the complainant, not in this case specifically. I thought it prudent to run that individual's name through our system, and I did find that we did have a case file to him. I made sure and uploaded all of the documents and videos into this JN number so Mr. De Leon could access them. He did not have any of that prior to me doing that, I believe on Tuesday or Wednesday of last week.
All right. So how much has been uploaded? Is this a lot?
It is an unindicted case that I don't know what the district attorney is going to do with that unindicted case. But it
that's
seems
it.
like I've got a majority or bulk of all the information for that other allegation.
All right, and that's involving this complainant, the other case?
This complainant.
Same complainant.
Same complainant.
So how much time are you asking for?
At least a month, Judge.
And State, I'm assuming you have no objections.
No objection, Your Honor, and I've told Mr. De Leon, there's also another sane video, which I cannot provide a copy of to Mr. De Leon, but he has not had the opportunity to come in and do that yet.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, give me a 45-day reset, and that will be for a jury trial and plea deadline date.
I'm sorry, February 29th.
I have a vacation letter. I'm out of state that day, Your Honor, but the week after will be fine.
Okay. Well, how long are you all expecting this trial to last?
3 days, probably, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in that range.
If we had a second court reporter and a second courtroom, I could send one case to a different place and then keep this case here. When are you thinking? Are we able to do it the week of March 4th?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna come back on March 4th. That's a Monday. But that's just to make sure everybody is on board, but your actual trial start date will be March 5th. All right, so we'll see you back on March 4th, and that will be your plea deadline date and jury trial date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And you always dress appropriately for court. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like to know something.
Summer Munice or shop.
Let me check and see. No, I do not. Summer Munice. All right, what's happening with this case?
Judge, good morning. I just got appointed, as you know, to this case this morning. I've conferred with the state, and we have a proposal for the court to consider. Long story short, she's been awaiting in treatment bed since July.
October with me.
October,
Mhm.
okay. And we're caught in a situation where she doesn't necessarily want to be revoked, but she doesn't want to wait in limbo forever. What I had proposed to the state is that we reset her for 30 days, see if she's accepted, and if she reaches the safety facility by that time. If she does, fine, she goes to safety, she finishes it.
Okay,
If she does not, the prosecutor tells me perhaps he'll reconsider his current prison recommendation. So from our perspective, it's a win-win because her case is going forward somehow. I was hoping you would honor that.
okay. Ms. Ferguson. Miss Munice, can you recall this in 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it needs to be as a phantom date because otherwise they won't take her.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, February 15th.
Okay, I'll be in touch. I'll go to you. Just have a seat for that.
Deon Bachelor. Probation, there's no application. Court is calling 2023 CR 9173, State of Texas versus Deon Bachelor. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hey, Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Joseph Appel for the defense.
And are you Mr. Bachelor?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Bachelor, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Bachelor, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your charge by indictment with theft under $2,500 enhanced? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Wow.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe so.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do believe so, Your Honor.
Mr. Bachelor, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility. There are no applications. This is the run concurrent with 2022 CR 7091. And why is it concurrent with the NITMAG number?
We believe that that is the same, it's the same offense date. So there was two thefts in the same transaction where there was a theft from a Walgreens. What he's pleading on now is the theft from the Walgreens. And then at the same time, there's a theft from a CVS. That night number, he served some time in Bexar County Jail. We just want to make sure he gets credit for the time whenever he's sentenced on this one, Judge.
All right, and this will run concurrent with NITMAG number 588484. And with regards to the other case, the 2022 CR 7091. Question,
Yes, Your Honor.
has he entered a plea on that?
Oh, yes, he has. He's actually has a blue warrant on parole and they've recommended revocation.
Okay. All right, then did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state,
Yes, sir.
showing you the waiver of appeal. I'm sorry, Mr. Yeah. Court reporter does not like that. Showing you a waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may continue to confer. Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find this sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
With permission of the court, yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just addressing the situation with the credit for the time served in Bexar County on this offense, with this offense date and related offense. Mr. Bachelor, under the indicted case, has 33 days credit, is my understanding. Looking through the Night Mag case, that was when Mr. Bachelor was initially arrested on the date that this offense occurred. It was subsequently dismissed on January.
Just 1 second. Excuse me, could you all not talk behind the court reporter? Thank you. All right, you may continue.
And that offense date was October 19th of 2020, Your Honor. Mr. Bachelor was in custody, Bexar County, the entire time until it was dismissed for further investigation on January 14th of 2021. They then subsequently, within the last year, indicted Mr. Bachelor on that case, on that same set of facts. And so it is the same case regarding the Walgreens and the theft from Walgreens.
All right,
And
well,
so
the
we're
clerk has
asking-
handed me a document saying that he was booked on October 19, 2020. Is that correct?
That's what I show, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will give you the credit for the 89 days from October 19, 2020 to January 15, 2021.
And then also the days on the 2023 indicted case. So that's what we're asking for, Judge. Other than that, we have nothing further. Mr. Bachelor has taken responsibility for his actions, and he just wants to put this behind him.
And then you're saying also credit on the 2022 case?
No, the 2023, the indicted case today.
Oh, yes, he'll receive credit
Yes.
for that. All right, the court will give you credit for any time served from October 19th through 2020, October 19th, 2020 through January 15th, 2021, and any time served on the instant case. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. How old are you, Mr. Bachelor? All right, you're 55. You're younger than me. So what you are going to have to make a decision about is whether or not you want to spend your life in and out of prison and in and out of custody. Because you're going to get to the point, if you're in Texas, where even though technically these are state jail felonies, your range of punishment could potentially be up to 20 years. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you.
That's your copy, sir. 122. All right.
Who's here on Ernest Lopez Ramone?
I am.
Court is calling, and this is an application probation. Court is calling 2023 CR 4166, State of Texas versus Ernest Ramone. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Second for the state, Your Honor.
defense?
Adrian Pettis.
And are you Mr. Ramone?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ramone, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're proceeding with 8 months in charge of an assault bodily injury.
No objections.
Going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury married cohabitation as a class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is anywhere from 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramone, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Excuse me, sorry. Why are you sleepy?
I took in the wrong medication this morning.
I'm sorry, what?
I took the wrong medication this morning.
All right, so maybe we shouldn't be going forward with this?
Well, I'm aware. I'm just everything. I'm just, you know. Apologize.
Judge, I talked to him this morning, no problems whatsoever. Then I talked to him when he arrived at court. And he does appear to be very drowsy. He tells me that he takes anxiety medication and nightmare medication every day. And this morning he took the wrong one.
All right, so
And I asked him 3, 4, or 5 times if he understands everything, if he has any questions, if he knows what he's doing. He's given me every indication that he does, but he's having a real hard time keeping his eyes open. And I told him he would have to see how you felt about that.
all right, I'm not feeling very well about that. So this is what we'll do. We'll come back tomorrow to take up the plea. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give them a reset for tomorrow? All right. All right. And we'll make sure you take the correct medication. You understand?
Yes.
All right, if you have a reset form, I'll fill it out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. Ms. Abrams, this is going to be recalled for tomorrow.
Make sure this doesn't happen tomorrow, okay?
All right, if you'll have him sign off on that, and once he signs off that and turns
Yes.
it in, he's excused.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right. Santiago Cologne, how long is this going to take? All right. Come forward. Court is calling 2023 CR 7386, State of Texas versus Miguel Santiago Cologne. Good morning. Yes. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
The state, Your Honor?
Defense?
Andrew Del Cueto for Mr. Cologne.
All right, where are we on discovery?
Judge, this is what we're missing. But do I have 5 minutes?
I mean,
Am I 10?
you said 10
Okay,
minutes. I'm
perfect.
timing you.
Okay, time me, Judge.
I'm doing the way they do in civil.
Okay, so, Mr. Cologne at gunpoint had his car robbed. Okay, so that's one case. That's an important case because later on, the case that we're here on deals with him retrieving his vehicle. But I think it's Brady and impeachment
So what discovery are you missing?
videos.
State, do you have videos?
Your Honor, I have an email from the investigator that, she emailed me and told me that she uploaded the video. I'm checking on that right now. That email is from, so the report was uploaded on November 14th.
Yeah.
I emailed on the November 27th for the body worn camera and Coban, other discovery for that case. She emailed me back on November 28th that she had uploaded them. I'm checking on that right now.
All right, so the videos that you're missing, are these the videos where he's alleged to have been robbed at gunpoint? Or are the videos from this instant case?
Judge, only your instant case is an allegation. He actually got robbed at gunpoint.
No.
Yes.
Well, I mean, everything is alleged. So that
Okay.
defendant in that case will say allegedly.
Yeah, but he's a victim, so we're gonna say it happened. It's a joke.
Okay.
But.
So do you have those, are those the videos that
Those
you're
are the
missing?
videos that we're missing.
All right, so those have been uploaded?
Judge, I have an email from the investigator. She told me that she uploaded them. I'm pulling it up on Veripic right now to see if I can see.
All right,
Can I continue, Judge?
yes.
Okay, so along with the story, they're, according to their witness, gangbangers in the car, they all flee at the scene. But there are 5 fingerprints, one of the interior of the vehicle. We don't have any fingerprint analysis on that.
All right, state, are they intending to do fingerprint analysis? What's the result?
I would like to email the investigator after this hearing and request everything. I'm not sure of it.
Okay. So is this the first time you're hearing about this fingerprint?
Yep.
All right,
Judge, it can't be the first time because we can't hear about it without getting it somehow from them. Does that make sense? Like, we can't divine that there are fingerprints, one being on the interior of the car. Does that make sense?
I know sometimes the state will look at something and if there's a video showing something that happened, maybe the police are, well, we don't need the fingerprint. Here's the person on the video. I don't know anything about this case. So you want an analysis of the fingerprint? What else?
Yes, Judge. And that's why I'm telling you, these people left.
Okay.
And the car was stolen. So obviously in a theft, an ag robbery dealing with theft of vehicle, fingerprints are pretty important. They did do the CCIC, NCIC, of which we have a copy. I haven't reviewed it, but they got it today.
Mhm.
There are 20 shell casings at the scene, various calibers. They sent them off to a lab. We don't have any of that information back. He didn't have a 20 round gun.
Okay, so here's my question. Are you seeking to go forward to trial without this information?
No, I'm seeking for a bunch of information to be excluded under Watkins and Heath. if
So
the
you
state
want
doesn't provide
fingerprints
us.
and all of that excluded?
Well, no, I want.
But it may be exculpatory or maybe not, I don't know.
But Judge, just to another point, 3 years.
Mhm.
3 years we've been on this case. 2 years he has been on GPS. And I'm real big on family. If anybody knows me, I'm real big on family. He has a sick grandmother in the Dominican Republic that he cannot leave the country to see.
Okay,
I
and
have
what
to
I
get
can,
this rolling.
and what I can say is that this case, although you may have been on it for the length of time you've been on it, this case has only been in this court since October 10th, 2023. And on October 10th, 2023, there was a discovery acknowledgement filed and signed. And then on November 13th, 2023, it was set for discovery on November 27th, 2023, and an offer was due. And then we come back on November 27th, still have discovery issues. And then we were set for December, and it was recalled for this day at defense attorney's request.
Because
So,
we're still lacking discovery.
No, no.
Like, and the court may think of discovery different. I think of it pretty simple.
no, I think of it simple too, but you all need to, I don't know what discovery y'all are missing until people tell me this is specifics discovery we're missing. So there's videos, you want fingerprints, you're saying the gun analysis for the shell casings or whatever is at the site has not been done,
That's.
or you
correct.
don't have it?
We don't have.
All right. Is there any other discovery?
Uh, No, that should be it, but Judge, just to be clear, I'm with you. I don't know the plays Dallas are gonna make if I'm Green Bay, but you know who knows the plays that Dallas is gonna make?
Well, not Dallas. No,
Well,
they did not because
They
they
knew
didn't.
the plays,
they-
it just, they couldn't execute.
No, we don't even know if they knew the plays. We don't even know if they studied film. I don't know that.
Well, fair enough, and I'm not trying to blame Hank. What I'm saying is the great state of Texas has known about all of this information from the inception of the case. Just because it was in your court in 2023, we requested it back in 2021, and we're still here requesting it.
Mhm. All right, so videos, shell casings, and fingerprints. All right, do you have any update on fingerprints? State?
I do not, Your Honor. There are a bunch is not very descriptive. There are a lot of videos in here. I am having trouble figuring out when they were uploaded, so I will need to talk to the detective. She did send me an email that she uploaded all the videos for that other offense. I'm trying to open the crime scene photos. I see that there's a PDF in here, crime scene photos. And I think defense counsel has that as a. You have a PDF. I'm sorry.
We don't have the digital photographs.
All right, everyone, come back on February 12th for discovery. That's your last discovery date.
Judge, okay, Judge.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Just set it for trial, Judge, because if you set it on February 6th and they're not ready, we know what's gonna happen.
No, I mean, it's set for February 12th and they're gonna turn over the discovery. If they don't turn over to the discovery or don't have discovery, it'll be a quick turnaround for jury trial.
I have a motion for speedy trial
Mhm.
on file that I
Okay.
would like to get heard, please, before the 12th.
Okay. All right, is there anything else?
Oh, Judge, just one last thing. We filed 2 motions for discovery and inspection on the 2 night cases, and then they were joined into this
Okay.
case. I would just, and I've given a copy to the state. I would just like to ask for a couple of things out of the motion for discovery.
Yes, what are you asking for?
Can I hand you the motion for discovery, Judge?
Sure.
Oh,
Have you all reviewed this?
Yes, Your Honor. The only, sorry.
I don't know if there's a transcript, if there's a grand jury transcript, we would like it. I doubt that there is.
Okay, so here's my question. Have you all agreed on this motion for discovery and inspection?
Your Honor, I thought, I was under the impression this was a motion relating to the items we were just talking about.
So are you ready to proceed on this motion or no?
I just want a witness list, Judge, a witness list of everybody, lay and expert, that's all I want.
But this is under the night mag number on a case that's not before this court. Is that what you
It
want?
is, but both of these night mags were integrated into this current indictment, if that makes sense. We just filed it with the night mags.
All right. On February 12th, we'll hear all the motions and then it will be a quick turnaround for jury trial.
Okay, Judge.
All right,
Thank you.
so state, the witness list and everything, make sure that you turn that over to them. And the fingerprints and the videos. And if there needs to be some sort of download to that with an external hard drive, let the defense know.
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, may I get with your coordinator to get a date for my motion for speedy trial, just so I can have a record?
Oh, we'll hear it on February 12th.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Sure. All right, Ms. Ferguson, they're coming back on February 12th. And that will be for motions as well. You're welcome. Who is here on Eric Christopher Diaz? Why do I have this? Oh. All right, what's happening with this case?
It's a plea, Judge.
Okay. Is there an application?
There is, Judge.
All right, probation, this is going to be an application. Did you file an application?
We did, Judge.
I don't have an application. Let me see.
We can do another one if you like.
All right, if you
Sure.
could. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 2918, State of Texas versus Eric Christopher Diaz. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
That comes with the state.
defense?
Kelly Biddle.
And are you Mr. Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is this an application for deferred adjudication or a regular probation?
Community supervision.
All right. Mr. Diaz, did you review the document with your client entitled application for community supervision? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We did.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
State is waiving and abandoning count 2, Your Honor, and proceeding on count 1.
No objection.
All right, if you want to go ahead and have him sign that.
This is what we signed.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense? That you're charged with the offense of assault, family second offense, that's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront? He needs to check that box. Confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1 only. Punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with Jacqueline Reyna Ibarra. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm still looking over here when I say
No,
that.
no, totally Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years and there be an anger management course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states one in attachments.
No objection.
All right, state, have you spoken with the complainant?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, and they're aware of this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may continue to confer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statement and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if we could go off the record for a moment. State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense,
Yes, Judge.
I don't have the previous incident.
I apologize, Your Honor. So if I'm not mistaken, so count
Yes.
2 was with respect to the 21st, count 1 was with respect to the 20th.
She's talking about some prior judgments. I can give you a second.
Oh,
Yes.
I have so many. I will give that to you right now.
All right, any objection to the state amending the stipulations?
No, Judge.
Council, it's cause number 956311.
Kevin Jones. Probably a joke. Throws me off every
All
time.
right, thank you, no problem.
Thank you. I apologize for my misunderstanding.
No problem. All right. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Recessing public paper.
All right. Mr. Diaz, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work for a company, Flasher Equipment. It's traffic control.
I'm sorry, what?
I work for a company, Flasher Equipment. It's traffic control, closed highways, detours and all that, barricades.
All right, do you have any children?
One,
Age?
19. Just recently had a little girl, so.
Okay,
7
so you
months.
have a 19-year-old and how old is the little girl?
7 months.
All right, and is that little girl with the complainant in this case?
No, the little girl's that's my son's daughter.
Oh, your son's daughter, or so your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay,
He does not have any children with complaint, Judge.
okay. And do you have any property with Miss Ibarra?
No, ma'am.
So you have no property, no children,
No,
bank accounts together?
nothing.
All right, so there should be no reason for you to contact her, correct?
None whatsoever, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Jacqueline, Raina, Varela, Varela, Ibarra. the BIPP course.
Judge, State and I had discussed the anger management course in lieu of the BIP course, mainly due to the fact of what some disclosures that were made today. In relation to the case, in addition, Mr. Diaz works out of town quite often, and I was going to talk with the court about that right now, and it would be extremely difficult for him to make the 16 to 20 hour course. So the state and I understand he put it below the line, but I was hoping the court would allow him to do the anger management course as the time restraints on his ability to make the 16 to 20 week course would be extremely difficult.
All right, isn't that required by law though?
Don't believe so, Judge.
All right, if it's not required by law, I think it is. But if it's not, then I'll consider the anger management course. So if anyone wants to bring me documentation that it's not required, and it should be listed in the code, whether it's required or not, I believe it is. So if it is not required, just let the court know and I'll change that.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
But for now, it's going to be the BIPP course. There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. He can either do the hours or either he can pay it off at $7.25 per hour. I recommend the San Antonio Food Bank, but if there's some other charity that you're interested in and it's approved by probation, you can do that as well. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, or since you're out of town, you can do the patch. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Field visit one time per month for 1 month. And then that will be at probation's discretion. Probation, is there anything else?
Governor, I heard something about travel, did we get cleared?
Right. That was,
He's allowed to travel for work.
thank you, Judge.
All right, is there anything else that you need? I'm sorry? Anything else you need to be successful?
Yeah, so.
All right. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification. I'm sorry. There's also, I did say an affirmative finding of family violence. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're off the record. Here's the thing. That person, you're not allowed to have any contact with her.
Oh, no.
Don't send her anything saying, I'm sorry for the confusion. Let's get back together. I changed. It's over. You understand?
Oh, yeah, completely.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Just give me one moment. Ivan Pacheco. All right, why were you late for court? You need to make those plans. You can't be late. Do you understand? All right, where are we on this case?
You're on the state. Last time we were here, they were gonna upload some videos. They did so this morning. And so I'd like some time to review it. He also, just let the court know, he has a federal case set for the 14th of February. And so we would just ask for time to review the videos.
All right, and state, have you tendered an offer?
He has not. I've talked to Daniel about this one.
Yes, has an offer been tendered in this case?
Judge, no, just because defense brought up to my attention, there were a number of videos that weren't uploaded.
Okay.
And I just did that as we proceeded here.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, this case is to come back at the end of February for discovery. And this will be the last discovery date.
And just to make the whole, it was about 148 videos that were on US. Yes, that's kind of why.
148 videos. Okay.
So
Oh.
February 2025, maybe.
All
29th, Judge.
right, we'll be back on February 29th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
And Norma, that will be for discovery. Carl Edward Jones.
If I have three people with you, I think I have a jury in the hall and at 399.
Okay.
So Carl Jones, Kevin Jones.
Oh, that's coming.
Yeah, I have all three of them.
All right, so Carl Jones, what's going on?
Carl Jones, as you may or may not recall.
Mr. Jones, come forward. He was not accepted in BTC.
Right, so this, Mr. Garahan and I have been conferring, he's not here today, but I think we're gonna get it worked out. I just need a date for a plea, I believe.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Carl Jones. Can you set this at the end of January for disposition?
Jones for February 29th?
No,
You said.
January, this
I'm
month.
sorry. You said February.
Hmm.
Can you? 30th? Or first?
I leave on the 30th, Judge.
All right, so can we put this on the 22nd then?
That's fine.
All right, it's coming back on January 22nd, Norma, for a plea.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And once he signs the reset form, he can be excused.
That's a different person. Oh, this is a different person.
He's in here.
All right, then we have Kevin Jones.
Same thing. Can we bring him back the same day for a plea?
All right, Norma, is he on bond?
Yes, Judge, he's present.
Jones, come forward. I won't hold that sweatshirt against him because it's the same division. All right, Norma, if you'll bring this back on the 22nd for disposition. Then we have.
The last one is Mr. Simmons. On that one, we're still doing some discovery, so.
All right, Simmons,
January 2nd. He's present as well, Judge.
come forward.
I would like a little more time for him if possible. We're still, like I said, we're still.
All right, this will be the final extension of the plea deadline date, and that plea deadline date is going to be the 22nd.
I don't have all the discovery yet. There's still
What
some,
discovery is missing?
there was still some surveillance stuff we're still working on. We're gonna get it. They're working on it.
All right, state what surveillance?
I've been working with Mr. Garahan on it.
All right, we're going to put this on the 22nd and see where we are.
Okay, that's fine.
All right,
All right, we'll sign recess.
yes. Ms. Abrams, we're coming back on the 22nd. Adrian Delateria. All right, who's the party on Deterio?
That's me, Judge.
All right, was an offer tendered?
Judge, I believe that the defense is gonna have the defendant evaluated for felony mental health court.
For an aggravated robbery, are they gonna accept him?
Well, Judge, there is a count 2 on there that the person.
And we've already checked to see that they do have space in case they do accept. So they're open to his application, Judge.
All right, when is he being evaluated?
We just had that conversation today, Judge. So I don't have that detail of when that's gonna happen.
All right, so I'm gonna give you all a short turnaround on this because he's alleged to be a habitual. The defense attorney has me doing this now, but he's alleged to be a habitual. I don't think mental health court is gonna accept him with that history and with the charges in this case. So we are coming back on January 29th. So they should be able to give you a preview and say yes or no. So other than that, any discovery issues?
We had talked in the past, Judge, just for my client's benefit, about whether or not there was video. This happened at the Toyota plant over in the south side. Mr. Garahan, and he's advised me that there wasn't any.
No video,
I'm
yes.
assuming they're sticking to that position.
And Judge, the note in our system indicates that Jason reached out to the detective said that they never got, to be honest with you.
All right. And State, have you tendered an offer? Do you know? Has an offer been tendered?
No, Judge.
All right, an offer needs to be tendered on January 29th. Then after that, we'll be headed to trial, depending on what happens with that. All right?
So
Any
you
questions?
said it's for the 28th or 29th, Judge?
The 29th is when you're set to give me an update on the mental health. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Vicente Navarrete?
Judge.
Where is he?
Over there. Charlie Brown hoodie.
All right, why was he late for court?
I thought the court would be close because of the weather, so I
No.
figured that I apologize. Once he called me, I got an Uber straight over here, ma'am. I'm sorry.
All right. So where are we on this case?
He was approved for PTD, Judge. We signed the contract today. I just need to go turn it in.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date for PTD?
I think it's February 20th.
All right, we'll be back on February 20th. Yes. All right.
Sorry for that.
Oh, no
Morning, ma'am.
problem. I understand. Marciano Green. Where's Mr. Green? Come down. Mr. Green, come down. Yes. Good morning. So what is happening with this case?
Today's our first court appearance since his indictment in December, and we'd like a reset to give him time to think about the offer.
All right. Have all the discovery?
Yes,
Plea deadline, offer's been tendered?
yes.
Mr. Green, how old are you?
51.
51. Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, sir.
if you'll call this back the last week in January for a plea deadline date.
January 30th.
All right, January 30th is your plea deadline date. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the plea. Do you understand?
And will you repeat the date? Because he was
January 30th.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we can't have them here.
Do you want me to sign something?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna update it right now.
Okay, I'm a block.
Who's here on Chris Lynn?
I am good.
All righty.
This is a sentencing case. Judge,
Yes.
And it was reset because my client's wife, who wanted to be here to speak on his behalf, her brother was terminally ill.
Mhm.
And that's why we set it for today.
Oh, yeah, and she was being allowed to appear by Zoom.
And she was not available even by Zoom. But this weekend, her brother passed away.
Mhm.
And she's obviously not available.
So what are you asking for?
I'm asking Judge if I would imagine with arrangements and services, if I can reset it for 2 weeks, Judge, if that's possible. At least 2 weeks to give her an opportunity to.
I'll bring it back next week.
I'm not sure. I mean, he passed away this weekend. Most times, at least take a week to do this.
I understand and I sympathize, but you know, in my family, who's in charge of funerals?
No. You?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you know what I do, rightly or wrongly? When people are coming from out of town, I tell them, you got to get on a flight or you got to drive. Everybody have 2 days. My grandmother was real big on when my grandmother passed, one thing she told us, please do not have my body sitting out there for 2 and 3 weeks waiting on people. And so, you know what I tell everybody in my family? This is the date it's set. Y'all need to be there.
All right.
And if you're not there, then guess what? Hopefully that person knew that you loved them and that you had every intention, but things went wrong.
Oh.
And I say that, and I tell you my experience, so you know I'm not being harsh.
Okay.
Also, and you know what, also in my family, I cut out where the funeral is lasting for like 6 hours, and then people want to ask people, you know, are you ready to accept Jesus as your savior? I'm like, no, we're not having church here, because you're just making people get very emotional. We're putting somebody in the ground today.
I'm Baptist, so it's a little different.
Oh, no, I'm Baptist.
Stretch it out.
Oh, no, I put a stop to that.
Oh.
I didn't put a stop to, you know, people always want to open the casket. I'm like, no, that will not be done here. So you should have saw them when they were alive. I mean, that's what we do. Me personally, I always tell people when I pass, I want people to say, hey, have you seen Stephanie? Where has she been? And I want somebody to say, well, you know, she died 3 months ago. I don't want any services. I don't want a funeral. Just burn me and put me down as quickly as possible. And as my brother says, wait at least for 3 days if I'm in the hospital to make sure I'm really dead. You know, like from the Wizard of Oz, mostly dead, not hardly dead. So we can come back next week. Ms. Ferguson, can you put this on the 25th?
No, Monday.
That's a Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Oh, better.
All right, and she can appear by Zoom.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Alex Espinoza. Alex Espinoza. Jerry Tort. All right, who's the attorney for Alex? Oh, fine. All right, so today is plea deadline date. Where are we?
Judge, I think we're still missing discovery.
What discovery is missing?
Judge, can you give me 2 minutes and I'll find out specifically?
All right.
I apologize.
Jerry Torres. I'll just have a seat. We'll come back to you. Who's the attorney for Jerry Torres?
It's Andrew is out there.
All right. All right, Mr. Torres, just have a seat.
Have a seat.
Can you give that to Deputy? David Quinnes. Oh, I'm sorry, Duenas. Who's the attorney? All right. This case is scheduled for jury trial.
Understood. I'm just
All right.
checking in.
All right, thank you. See you back at 1:30. All right, coming back at 1:30 for jury trial. Philip Giller. 1:30. You're welcome. Caleb Crom, what is happening with that?
We have a motion to set bond. His bond was revoked. He's been here all morning. I was a little bit late, so my apologies on me being late.
Well, I mean, he wasn't here at 9.
He was texting with me, Judge. I told him to wait in the hall because I'd prefer to
Okay.
talk to him in the hall versus in the box.
So when people say people have been here, I'm thinking that means inside the courtroom.
If you're angry with someone, let it be at me, Judge. I instructed
I'm not
him.
angry.
I know.
I'm just stating
I just
facts.
didn't want you blaming my client for being late.
Oh, I don't blame anybody.
Okay.
I just accept facts as they are and then make a decision on the facts that are presented to me.
Understood. I felt it was easier for me to have a conversation with him in the hall than the box because I'm not very good at whispering. As your bailiff can attest to, she shushes me 40 times every time I'm in here. I don't blame her.
Surely not 40 times.
It feels like it. She's my therapist. So he was arrested on 3 new misdemeanors. He has made bond on those. We're asking the court to reinstate his $20,000 bond, but if the court doesn't see fit, Zach and I have spoken and we believe that 30,000 is an agreeable amount. His original bond was 20 on this.
So are we only here for bond? What are we here for today? Just this bond?
It was originally set as a jury trial setting, Judge, but this is also the case where the mental health professionals got signed off on a week or two ago, where the confusion on competency versus a mental health professional was ironed out and you signed the orders. So those people have not had time to do their jobs, obviously. But we are asking the court, and Zach was okay with us presenting the court the motion to set bond on his case. His mom is here, his father's here, and his wife is here. So we've got a lot of family support. His grandpa is supporting him during this time as well, but he is about to be in hospice, so his health is not allowing him to be here.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, set this mid-February for an update on this mental health issue.
Can we do late February? I'm out of the country mid-February.
When are you back?
I believe I'm gone from the 7th to the 17th, but I can check my calendar. Correct. I return on the 17th, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, put this on the 20th.
Yes, ma'am.
And then with regards to the bond, have Judge Nahara hear this. So Judge Nahara will hear it.
Do I need to contact that court to have that set, or how's it work?
Ms. Ferguson is going to get in touch with them.
Okay.
You file your motion, you make a motion with you?
I do. The paper's in the file and I e-filed it this
We
morning.
can send it to them.
Today.
Yeah. it is,
Okay, yeah, I wanted to get a sense of what the timeline was.
Yeah, and they'll contact you with whatever date.
Okay. Okay, so he won't be taking over there, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
David Duenas. And Norma, you want to see if he's available to do that today? They'll see if he's available to do it today. Alex Espinoza. Hi, are you here for someone?
Yes, you're on refer from with Mr. Zhao.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Leal is not here. All right. All attorneys, y'all need to be back here at 1:15. So anyone who's left, you need to come back at 1:15. So that would be Tony Torres, 1:15. David Trevino, if you could hold them. Duenas, 1:15. Eric Diaz, that's been done. That's done. Jerry Torres, 1:15. Alex Espinoza, 1:15. Rudolph Montoya, 1:30. Kathy Compton. That's gonna be 1:15. All right, Frolon Guzman, 1:15. Anthony Woodard, 1:30. Darren Does, 1:15. Kenan Brown, 1:30. Jeremy Duque, 1:15. All right, thank you.
Judge, briefly on David Trevino, I was notified by the staff that he may have a physical issue. He keeps on scratching himself, and maybe scabies or something like that. So I don't know if you still want him brought or like.
All right, we'll take it up at 1:15. It's almost noon and everybody needs a break.
Great.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Sorry, you recalled one Anthony Woodard for 1:30.
Yes.
Is there any way we could briefly, if you have an appointment, something we can, is there any way we could briefly address you on Anthony Woodard or?
What's the issue?
So this one, he was set last week for jury trial,
Mhm.
and then we had the issue in the hallway and then the issue on Wednesday. We had been come back to get a date certain. I have availability issues with my witnesses for the rest of this week, but is there any way that maybe we could take that up now, or we can come back at 1:30